Hello guys, I'm gonna deal with class 1 antiarrhythmic drugs. These drugs are also known as sodium channel blockers because they act by blocking sodium channels present on the cell membrane of contractile cardiac myocyte and they prevent the entry of sodium ions into the cell. Coming to the classification, these drugs are further classified into three subclasses which include class 1A, 1B and 1C drugs based on their mechanism of action, effect on action potential duration and binding and dissociation from sodium channels. Class 1A drugs cause sodium channel blockade with prolonged refractoriness and class 1B drugs cause sodium channel blockade with shortened refractoriness. Whereas class 1C drugs cause sodium channel blockade with minimal effect on refractoriness. This differential effect on refractoriness is due to the action of potassium channels on the cell membrane. Coming to the drugs included under each of these subclasses, you can remember class 1A drugs with a mnemonic queen DP where queen stands for quinidine, D for disopyramide and P for procainamide. You can remember class 1B drugs with a mnemonic LMP test where L stands for lignocaine, M for mexiletine, P for phenytoin and test as tocainide. You can remember class 1C drugs with a mnemonic PM's ejection fraction where P stands for propafenone, M for morisazine, E for encanide and F for flecainide. Before going to the mechanism of action, let us see the normal physiology of a contractile cardiac myocyte. When we plot a graph of membrane potential against time, we get an action potential curve consisting of 5 phases, which include phase 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. A detailed description of normal physiology is explained in first lecture of our antiarrhythmic series. Here we are concerned with phase 0, which is also known as rapid depolarization phase, and phase 3, which is also known as rapid repolarization phase. In phase 0, sodium ions enter into the cell through sodium channels present on the cell membrane. These sodium channels exist in three states. They are open, closed and inactive state. In phase 3, potassium ions leave the cell rapidly through potassium channels present on the cell membrane. ECG wave corresponding to phase 0 is QRS complex, which is due to ventricular contraction, and ECG wave corresponding to phase 3 is T wave, which is due to ventricular relaxation. We also come across QT interval, which is the duration from beginning of depolarization to the end of repolarization, and it is almost equivalent to action potential duration. Coming to the mechanism of action, class 1A drugs block voltage gated fast sodium channel in open state and moderately depress the slope of phase 0 depolarization. Here we can appreciate that this is a normal phase 0 depolarization and this is the depressed slope of phase 0 depolarization caused by class 1A drugs. These drugs also block some potassium channels resulting in prolongation of conduction time, action potential duration and effective refractory period. Effective refractory period is a period during which the cell does not respond to a new action potential stimulus. Coming to ECG changes, class 1A drugs cause widening of QRS complex due to blockade of depolarization, and they also prolong QT interval due to prolongation of action potential duration. Class 1B drugs cause minimal blockade of sodium channels in open and inactive state, resulting in slight depression of phase 0 depolarization. Here we can appreciate that this is a normal phase 0 depolarization and this is slightly depressed slope of phase 0 depolarization caused by class 1B drugs. These drugs also open potassium channels, resulting in reduction of conduction time and shortening of action potential duration and also the effective refractory period. Coming to ECG changes, class 1B drugs cause widening of QRS complex and shortening of QT interval. Class 1C drugs are powerful sodium channel blockers. These drugs cause marked depression of phase 0 depolarization due to blockade of sodium channels in open state. Here we can appreciate that this is the normal phase 0 depolarization and this is markedly depressed slope of phase 0 depolarization caused by class 1C drugs. These drugs do not affect potassium channels and so there is no effect on action potential duration and effective refractory period. Both this will be normal. Coming to ECG changes, there will be widening of QRS complex, but the QT interval will be normal due to normal action potential duration. These are the differences among class 1 antiarrhythmic drugs. Sodium channel blockade is moderate with class 1A drugs, it is weak with class 1B drugs, and powerful sodium channel blockade is seen with class 1C drugs. Effect on potassium channels. Class 1A drugs block potassium channels, whereas class 1B drugs open potassium channels, and class 1C drugs do not show any effect on potassium channels. These are action potential curves which we have already seen. Action potential duration and effective refractory period increase with class 1A drugs and they are decreased with class 1B drugs and they are normal with class 1C drugs. Effect of sodium channel blockade is more with class 1C drugs followed by 1A followed by 1B. Action potential duration and effective refractory period are more with class 1A drugs followed by 1C drugs followed by 1B drugs. Coming to the common properties of class 1 antiarrhythmic drugs, these drugs act on contractile cardiac myocytes which include atria and ventricles, but not on pacemaker cells which include SA node and AV node, because these pacemaker cells are potentiated by calcium and potassium channels rather than sodium channels. These drugs reduce automaticity by an unrelated mechanism that decreases the slope of phase 4. They inhibit arrhythmic myocardial excitation of higher frequencies and also prevent re-entry in atrial and ventricular tissues by reducing conduction velocity of action potential. They do not alter resting membrane potential. Instead, they alter phase 0 and phase 3 of action potential, and thus these drugs are also known as membrane stabilizers. These drugs exhibit use-dependent block, that is, when sodium channels involved in action potential generation are greater in number, then the block will also be more, and hence these are also known as use-dependent blockers. Coming to the individual drugs, let us see about quinidine. It is an isomer of quinine derived from cinchona bark. It is absorbed orally, it is short-acting, and it is highly plasma protein bound, undergoes glucuronidation, and it exhibits high first-pass metabolism. It is eliminated by kidneys. Coming to the clinical uses, cardiac uses include atrial flutter, atrial fibrillations, and ventricular fibrillations. Extracardiac uses are due to its anti-malarial, anticholinergic, alpha blocking, uterine stimulant, and antipyretic properties. Due to these properties, quinidine is used in diseases like malaria and so on. Adverse effects of quinidine include Torsades T points, thrombocytopenia, hypotension, synchronism, and diarrhea or GI upset. You can remember these adverse effects with a mnemonic TH cells and CD cells. Diarrhea is the most common adverse effect of quinidine and it also produces hypokalemia. Thrombocytopenia may be severe, but it is reversible by discontinuing the drug. Synchronism occurs in acute overdoses and the symptoms include sweating and flushing of skin, tinnitus, blurred vision, headache, and confusion. Coming to the drug interactions, quinidine reduces digoxin clearance. It is an enzyme inhibitor and inhibits the enzyme CYP2D6 and also the drugs like warfarin and codeine. Quinidine is induced by phenytoin and phenobarbital. Plasma concentration of quinidine is increased by cimetidine and verapamil. You can remember these drug interactions with the mnemonic DEVIL-PC. Coming to the drug procainamide. It is an analog of procaine. It is administered by IV or oral route. It is metabolized by acetylation and the metabolite is N-acetyl procainamide, which is responsible for pharmacological actions. Metabolism shows genetic variations based on which individuals are classified as slow acetylators or fast acetylators. It is eliminated by kidneys. Coming to clinical uses, it is used in acute supraventricular and ventricular tachyarrhythmias such as atrial flutter, atrial fibrillation, and ventricular fibrillations. Adverse effects include Torsades T points, hypotension, SLE, and bone marrow depression. Coming to the drug disopyramide, it has an additional anticholinergic activity along with antiarrhythmic property. It is absorbed orally. It shows plasma concentration dependent plasma protein binding. It is metabolized in liver and is eliminated by kidneys. Coming to the clinical uses, cardiac uses include atrial flutter, atrial fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia, and ventricular fibrillations. Extracardiac uses include reduction of muscle mass and HOCM. Adverse effects of disopyramide include torsades T points and anticholinergic side effects like dryness of mouth, blurring of vision, constipation, urinary retention, and so on. You can remember these adverse effects with a mnemonic AT. Coming to the drug lignocaine. It is a local anesthetic with antiarrhythmic property. This drug selectively acts on deceased or ischemic myocardium. It has a rapid onset with short duration of action. IV route of lignocaine is preferred. It is metabolized in liver. Coming to the clinical uses, lignocaine is a drug of choice in various cardiac conditions like ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillations, digoxin-induced arrhythmias, anesthesia-induced arrhythmias, arrhythmias in ICU, and acute MI-induced arrhythmias. Adverse effects of lignocaine include nystagmus, drowsiness, dysarthria, tremors, muscle twitching, and convulsions. Coming to the drug phenytoin. It is an anti-epileptic drug with antiarrhythmic property. It was previously used as a drug of choice for digoxin-induced arrhythmias. At present, it is used as an alternative to lignocaine. Peculiar pharmacokinetic properties of phenytoin are, it is a potent enzyme inducer and follows zero-order kinetics at therapeutic concentration. Adverse effects of phenytoin include ataxia, nystagmus, mental confusion, and hypotension. Coming to the drug mexiletine. It is an analog of lignocaine. It is mainly useful in post-MI ventricular arrhythmias. Extracardiac uses of mexiletine include phantom limb. Adverse effects include nausea, vomiting, hypotension, and neurological side effects such as ataxia, tremors, dizziness, and blurred vision. These can be minimized by taking the drug with food. Coming to the drug tocainide. It is also an analog of lignocaine. It is used in ventricular arrhythmias. Adverse effects include bone marrow depression and pulmonary fibrosis. Because of these adverse effects, this drug is not used presently. Mexiletine or tocainide can be used in combination with quinidine or sotalol to increase efficacy and reduce toxicity of individual agent. Coming to the drug propafenone. This drug possesses mild beta blocking and calcium channel blocking properties. It is well absorbed orally. It produces two metabolites which include 5-hydroxypropafenone mediated by CYP2D6 and N-desalkyl propafenone, which is a weak sodium channel blocker and beta blocker. It is eliminated by liver and kidney. Clinical uses of propafenone include supraventricular arrhythmias such as atrial flutter and atrial fibrillations, ventricular arrhythmias such as ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillations, and refractory arrhythmias. Adverse effects of propafenone include cardiac heart failure, and due to beta blocking activity, it also produces sinus bradycardia and bronchospasm. Coming to drug interactions, quinidine and fluoxetine inhibit CYP2D6 mediated metabolism of propafenone in fast metabolizers. Dose should be reduced in hepatic disease. Coming to the drug morisizine. It is a phenothiazine analog. It is useful for chronic treatment of ventricular arrhythmias. It is contraindicated in patients immediately after MI. It is not preferred currently. Coming to the drug flecainide. It is an analog of procainamide. It is used for re-entering atrioventricular tachycardia such as nodal tachycardia or WPW syndrome or any tachycardia due to accessory or aberrant pathways from atria or ventricles. Adverse effects include nausea, abdominal discomfort, blurred vision, tremors, and dizziness. This drug is contraindicated in patients with cardiac failure, sick sinus syndrome, past history of MI, or those who are recovering from MI. Coming to the drug encainide, it is no more used.